I don't know anyone who was not excited about new parcel day. 11 years of running this channel has come to some fruition at times. Oh boy. New camera day.
That's right. Hasselblad sent out the new X2D II and 35-100mm f2.8-4, the latest in their line of mirrorless medium format digital cameras. It's pretty similar in build and use case to the previous X2D, but with a few new additions to improve things. First up, as expected from Hasselblad, it has an excellent screen on the back. Honestly, Hasselblad put the best screens on cameras, period. They're superior in size, resolution, responsiveness, and now brightness, topping out at 1400 nits for in-camera HDR if you're into that. They've also added a thumbstick for navigating menus and changing focus points on the back, which I always felt was desperately needed on the previous X2D. And alongside that, we've also got a number of new custom buttons to set up. Now the dials, both front and back, are push buttons too. So you've got some extra customization, which is very useful. So I've been carrying this with me a lot between Osaka, Tokyo, and Ishikawa in Japan. And as always, I'm impressed with the image quality and enjoyment using this 100 megapixel medium format camera. Interestingly, from shooting over the last couple of months, I have to say the vast majority of my shots have been at nighttime. Is that my vibe? I feel like I shoot in all conditions, but frequently I notice more than half are actually at night. Interesting. Anyway, starting things off, I went to Tsuruhashi in Osaka. Walking down long dark alleys, I found the stealthy appeal of the black on black design to be quite fitting for this environment. These night areas always have a feeling of cinema to them, so I frequently opted for the ultra-wide 65x24 crop, synonymous with the old Hasselblad X-Pan cameras. This is where I utilized the first of the new custom buttons to toggle between full sensor 4x3, 65x24, and 5x4 crop ratios. And I should point out, you still get the full image in RAW, so if you want to edit later in Lightroom or other applications, you can do so.
So previously Hasselblad have sent a couple of cameras, and with that the 55mm 2.5 lens. I really enjoyed the design of that lens. Likewise the focal length. However, they did also send out the brand new 35-100mm f2.8-4. It's a heavy lens, although I will admit it's not as heavy as I expected for a lens of this size. You've got your zoom dial, your focus dial, and then a clickable let's call it an action dial. It could be your aperture, it could be your exposure, it could be whatever you want to control and customize of this. It's unmarked and it's right there on the lens. I should note that this has a filter thread of 86mm. That is bigger than all of my photography lenses. It is a very big lens. It has a huge element at the very front of it, but it's versatile. 35-100mm on a medium format sensor gives you a good amount of options at the wide end and the mid-range to low zoom levels. If you were to carry just one lens traveling, this would probably do you very well. So when I eventually did receive this lens, I immediately took it out into Osaka and went up Haruka's 300, which is actually the tallest building in Osaka, and until only a few years ago was the tallest building in Japan. It's a pretty high observation deck. It's pretty cool. And I was able to get plenty of shots around sunset and nighttime and just zooming in. And this is where 100 megapixels comes in incredible clutch fashion. Obviously, I can zoom in with the lens, I can take it to 100 mil, and then, because you've got 100 megapixels on that insane sensor, I can crop in further and get incredible detail, process it a little bit further and remove some of that noise, and you get some really, really clean images. But the thing that stood out to me the most is that I could do handheld, somewhat long exposures of maybe 1 second or 2 seconds and get sharp details because of that 10-stop IBIS that's in this camera. This is a pretty significant upgrade from the previous one, and yeah, really, really quite noticeable. If you were to honestly have just one lens as a roaming lens, travel around, yes, it's a big system, but it's just this. This is all you would take. Potentially, that could do you well. I'm just thinking, for example, if I happen to go on some super long expedition somewhere, this would be pretty great and you get some nice imagery and other things. Some of the biggest improvements they've made to the X2D II over the original X2D is the autofocus. So this now has LiDAR focus. So other than some of DJI's cameras, this I believe is the only camera with interchangeable lenses that has LiDAR focusing. Now you may know LiDAR from smartphones, and submarines, if you happen to work on those. Essentially, it's a light-based focusing system. Think of sending a laser and having that laser return back to you and working out the distance, all in a blink of a second, less than that, in a blink of a millisecond. So it's used in photography to map an area, get the distance to all sorts of various objects, and wherever you set your focus pin, it's going to be able to quickly react to that distance and set the focus. It's phenomenal, actually, that they've put it in a medium format camera, because most types of futuristic and sort of cutting edge technology doesn't come to the bigger sensor cameras first. It always comes to the smaller sensor cameras first, and then it sort of goes upwards. And that's usually due to things like heat and processing power and just other cost factors that get in the way of things. So it's impressive they put it in the medium format X2D II, but then again, this is an expensive camera. Now, let's not beat around the bush here. This camera alone is like £7,500 or so. The lens, this is another $4,000 or so dollars, because it has that leaf shutter built in and the optics are incredible to it. So of course, you're paying premium prices, you're gonna get premium features. And yeah, the focus is snappy, it's sticky, it's not slow. Like, unlike other medium format cameras that you maybe had to slow yourself down to, this is snappy. It does the job, at least for me anyway. And you'll see, as I point it at a camera, so with a camera sensor, you can see the lights beaming across. A little bit like the old days of infrared, when you point your TV remote at a camera and you can see it on the camera. It's pretty cool. But it's not just LiDAR that's been improved and added to this camera. I also really appreciate the addition of custom buttons. And yet it still feels very minimalist. It still has that essence of Hasselblad, which is clean design, nice, straight, angular design, yet also incredibly comfortable to hold. This is one of the most comfortable cameras I've ever held, and yet it still feels relatively small. The body, that is. This lens is a beast of a lens. Especially when you compare it to the old days of shooting with the DSLR, something like a 5D Mark II, or whatever you may be accustomed to as the old days of big cameras. This honestly feels smaller than that. So it's it's impressive what the technology has done, and yeah, very enjoyable in terms of the customization and flexibility that it offers.
Overall, I've been genuinely loving this camera, and it's honestly hard to find many faults for it in my workflow. Remember, this is a medium format sensor. As a category of camera, they are synonymous with being slower, less feature-rich in exchange for superior image quality. The X2D II is punching above those expectations. As a camera, it's 100% photography focused. There's no video here. So I guess that's both a pro and a con for me as someone who makes videos about photography. Of course, again, this is no fault of the camera at all, it's purely workflow. And speaking of workflow, developing these images in Lightroom continues to surprise me. Punching into 100%, the detail is astonishing at times. But so is the flexibility of the raw images, especially the shadow recovery. Hasselblad utilized a single color profile, the Hasselblad Natural Color Solution, which Adobe have matched pretty closely in Lightroom. But I've gone one stage further and created my own Master Tones profile and Lightroom presets that really maximize the dynamic range available from the moment you import your images. And if you enjoy the way I process my images, check out the link in the description and you can do the same. That's all for now. I'll catch you in the new year for more adventures. See ya.